Good day. Hello, Sanbonani, good people. You are with Yanga, the MC again. It's just Saturdays, and it's that date that you always have with me. I'm happy to be with you. As always, I am ecstatic. I'm just rejuvenated, energized all over again because I get to engage, I get to listen, and I get to be with you. I get to also share. There's that much happening, so it's always a pleasure. My Saturdays always start with me and you, and for what it's worth, it's the best day for me during the week. So I probably have a guest for you today. I'll introduce him as the time progresses, but we are again very thankful. We are seeing your interactions with us, and we are seeing the growth in terms of our platforms. So we always need to give credit where it's due. That's not all because of us. It's also because of people who are pushing us in the right direction. So we are thankful for that. We're thanking people who are actually recommending, people who are sharing our content, giving that boost and getting us to be listened to by the masses. It's really touching, and it's something that I don't know, in fact, how to even start in terms of saying thank you. So I just can say thank you very much at the moment. And to those people who are still learning and are still knowing and are still asking, what is Empowerment Podcast? That question is so huge, but it's so simple because we just a platform that's here for you, platform that's just ensuring we're trying to get out the word of empowering and equipping and inspiring the youth. It's all about the youth. It's all about the people around. It's all about making sure that the next person and ourselves are actually coming through and getting ourselves into the right path in terms of our lives and making sure that we are becoming the better versions of ourselves every day. So thank you again. Make sure, again, people, you are coming to us and visiting our platforms. In terms of Facebook, we're there on Instagram, we're there on TikTok, we're there on YouTube, on our platforms. You are going to find us. It's Empowerment Podcast at most of them. I think it's just Instagram that it's at empower_podcast. It's a very different tag name for us there if you look for us there, but you should find us. However, we would love for you to join. We would love for you to engage. We'd love for you to make sure that you give us your input. So thank you. So yeah, let's jump in. So today I've got a very I don't know how to even unpack this guy, because every time you talk to him, I've actually had sessions where we have debates and we have a bit of chats and talks, and it helps a lot because of his kind of career path that he's actually went into, but he'll tell you all about that. So I've got Mondli today Mazongolo, who is a very good friend of mine, but who is someone I also actually look up to because of the type of journey that he's traveled, and that's what we want to listen to. So Mondli, sir, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Yanga. And how are you this evening?
No, I'm good, man. I'm happy, and I'm very thankful to you for being here and actually making sure that you actually accept this invite.
Well, thank you very much, Yanga. And I'd also like to just say hi to the listeners today. I hope they're having a wonderful Saturday morning.
Yeah. They always are. So, Mondli, let's dig into you, man. Let's tell our listeners out there, who is Mondli? Let's just give them a bit of background. Let's just unpack you a bit for them, please.
All right, Yanga, let's just get straight to it. Mondli is a young gentleman. Well, not so young at this point in time. I'm on the wrong end of 30. I'm a gentleman from a small town called Harding in the south coast of KZN.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up, and I did my primary school there at Harding State Aided Primary.
Yeah.
Then my journey took me to Pietermaritzburg, which is where I did my high school.
Yeah. Okay.
At Pietermaritzburg, that's where I started to learn where my strengths and weaknesses are, and I was quite the talker. So you can quite understand what took me toward this sort of journey.
Okay. I knew you were going to get there somewhere somehow. But yeah, let's go.
And then once I finished my matric at Northbury Park in Pietermaritzburg, I went to UKZN. Initially, I wanted to be a doctor. However, blood was really not my scene. So I opted for the safer option, which is why I chose law, which is an LLB undergraduate degree.
Okay, yeah.
So that's my transition into the law career, and I did my law degree at UKZN Howard College, and that's where I graduated.
No, thank you, Lisa. So yeah, a lot of people. I like how, especially in our culture, a lot of times, you ask someone where or what are you going to be when you grow up. The first things that always come to mind, doctors. Yeah, I think that's the first one before you talk of any other one. So great hearing that I wasn't the only one who at some point actually thought I was going to be a doctor somewhere, somehow. So, but then, okay, let's find out. So you say law for you was the other option, but then you still had to have a certain reason why you went still to law.
Yeah, that is quite correct, Yanga. As much as it was my second option, and that's in inverted commas, it was also my first.
Okay.
As I had explained earlier, I was quite the talker, I was quite the debater, and I was quite argumentative. So that really did pave a path for me. But now I was the sort of person who wanted to argue in a controlled environment.
Oh, in a more civilized environment.
For lack of a better word, yes, in a more civilized manner.
Okay.
So I thought to myself, what's the best way I can tell people what I want to tell without getting beat up? And I thought, law, that's it.
Okay. All right, Mondli. So that's fine. So tell us about how far you've gone and how far you've come, into that stream now that you selected law, you've studied law, you've graduated, and so you've gone out. Tell us how far you've gone up until this point as we speak right now.
All right. At this point in time, I'm sorry to just start from the end, but I'm going to just do that, start from the end. At this point in time, I am a sole director of my own law firm, which is called MB Mazongolo Attorneys. And it was not an easy feat to get here. It was filled with lots of curves, lots of turns, lots of downs, lots of ups. It was difficult, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it. Just to give you a brief picture of where I started. After completing my LLB degree, I found articles in Durban with a law firm by the name of Yolandi van der Vaart Attorneys. Great law firm. I enjoyed my time there, did my time, to say the least, did my 2 years, completed my articles, got admitted at the Pietermaritzburg High Court as an attorney of the High Court of South Africa in 2019, May 24. Which is actually one day before my birthday. So that was kind of written in the stars for me.
Okay, so that must have been a birthday that you probably never forget.
Never. Then from there, I found work as a personal assistant, which is now the admitted attorney, a PA, with a firm called Partha & Partha Attorneys, where I basically learned my craft.
That's where you sharpened your tools.
That's where I sharpened my tools, learned my craft. Although in my articles, I also learned quite a few things. Some good, some bad, but you have to take the good with the bad in this field.
That's correct. As what it is in any other field. But so that's how you've then established. So you've just mentioned, and then when was that point where you said, okay, that's it. It's probably time that I don't report to anyone. It's probably time that I now go back and revisit everything that I've actually gathered, everything that I've taken from every firm, every institution that you've studied or basically worked with, and go solo. So where was that point? And whilst you also answer that, I just also want to just ask, in terms of those kind of difficulties in that transition, maybe give me some highlight of what kind of difficulties would one be looking at if you're looking at to jump from let's say, yeah.
Okay, all right, Yanga. Thank you for that. Just to give you to paint a picture with a common phrase that is used.
Yeah.
Never don't give a man a fish. Teach a man to fish, and he'll feed his family for the rest of his life. That is actually one thing. That's the way I looked at it at one point. I had been taught how to fish through these law firms, and it was time for me to now feed myself.
Yeah, completely.
So I realized that we make a lot of money in law firms. We make a lot of money for law firms. And then you just get a fraction of that. And then I thought to myself, hold on, I've got the skill. I've got the ambition. Let me just take the jump and just work for myself, work on my own. It did not that it didn't come with any of its own teething problems. There were quite a lot of problems. And mainly, number one on that list is finances.
True.
In order to open a law firm, it's not expensive to open a law firm. It's expensive to run a law firm. So you need capital to keep your books afloat, to keep the lights on, to keep the telephone on, to make copies, to do the necessary. So that's the one place I had a bit of a problem. However, with the support of family, friends, referrals, small business here, small business there, you do your work, you get paid, you save, you do what you have to. You will make it. That's the one thing I found. You will keep your head above water.
Yeah. Ah, man. So that's why at the very beginning, just mentioning to my listeners, this is why every time when I speak to this guy, I find that much value, because all of our discussions and our debates, they always actually just kind of, trigger those aspects and those points where you actually thought and you're perfectly aware of 1, 2, 3 things. I promise you come back with something different with this guy. So man, so this is great. So congrats first and foremost for the path and everything that you've achieved up until this point. Some people actually think it's not as major as what it is up until they understand the magnitude. I mean, for example, I know what you've done. I've seen some of your work and I've seen exactly where you are now compared to where you were. So that's why I say, for me, that is inspiring. For me, this is what I actually look at, and I always tell you from time to time, this is just something that I look at and actually think to myself, that's actually where we should be learning from. But whilst I'm talking about that again, Mondli, let's tell that young, say, matriculate, that young student just applying right now. They've put in their application forms. They've, for some or other reasons, not even sure what they were doing. They've applied for law, or they're still making choices. They've just included all the majors or something for whichever course they're going to enroll in. But let's speak to that young individual looking and maybe interested in going into the field of law. What do you want to say to that kind of person?
Okay, Yanga, I'm gonna try and do that young listener a favor right now. I'm gonna try and impart some knowledge on them that I wish someone at that age would have imparted on me.
Okay.
First and foremost, you might not know what you want to do next year. Or yes, next year, if you are matriculant this year. But whatever it is that you do, be it law, be it engineering, be it whatever it is, what you need to do is focus. You might be the smartest person in the world, but if you don't focus and if you don't put the work in, that does not count for anything. If you're moving into law specifically, again, law, I can tell you now, it's an easy degree, and I say easy with great caution. It's easy because you make it easy. If you put in the work during the week, and you put in some work during the weekends, it'll be a breeze. By the time you finish your degree, law firms will be coming and knocking at your door. It won't be the other way around. So just take the time out of your busy day in whatever you're doing. Focus on your work 2 or 3 hours a day extra, apart from classes. Focus on that, and you will be, by the 4th year, you would have many offers on your desk, people wanting you to come to their law firms to work for them.
I'm hoping 1, 2, 3 people listening to this will actually gather from that and actually take and actually have that direction, and then maybe it would help someone out there, because that's what we're trying to do here, Mondli. Oh man, I'm happy, I'm thankful that we're having and had this chat. Maybe our time will probably need to be cut, maybe not in too long from now. So if people are looking to learn and maybe see some of your, of you perhaps, say in your pages, do you have, so if anyone wants to probably also learn or maybe call in for any duties, how do they contact you? How do they see you? How do they actually get hold of you?
All right. At the moment, Yanga, I'm not really on socials at the moment.
Okay.
Well, it's good and bad. I'm a rather quite busy to be on the socials at the moment.
Yeah.
However, people who need advice, who need to talk, who need to career guidance, whatever the case may be, they can contact me on my work number,
okay,
which is 063 408 9236. And this number also has WhatsApp. So even if you just need quick advice, drop me a message.
Okay.
I will get back to you. It might not be immediately, but I will get back to you within a reasonable amount of time.
And make sure if anyone does actually make contact to that number and you ask whether he actually found out about you and this is the platform, I'll send the invoice. It's fine. It's fine.
No. Because Friends of Empowerment podcast are friends of MB Mazongolo attorneys. We will do that pro bono. All advice will be pro bono. If Yanga gives you an invoice, oh my word. He might need my services later on.
Oh man, nobody, thank you, man. I'm not sure if you have any final remarks. I think we should probably get on and maybe give our listeners a chance to go enjoy their Saturday. Anything you'd want to say to anyone out there?
Well, as a closing remark, I'd just like to thank you, Yanga, for giving me this opportunity of being here today. Giving me this lovely platform to speak to everybody here. And I hope I touched someone today. And I hope I gave someone hope. And I hope someone can actually take something from this interview and use it in their lives.
No. That's the beauty of what we do. Sometimes you don't even, or you aren't even aware. I believe I actually had sessions where I engaged people and just spoke to people and we went on, and I was not even aware that so many people actually were listening up until we were given this type of stats and comments. For a long while, I wasn't aware. So don't you worry. A lot of people out there will get to hear this, but most importantly, a lot of people might get the type of help and direction that they need just by listening, and that's the aim of what we do here. So thank you very, very much, Mondli. Thank you again to you, our listeners. Again, we want to thank you for just being here and just being part of this family. So once more, it's Yanga the MC. It's your Saturdays under our session, Youthful and Impactful. And once again, see you guys next week. And for now, bye.
All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.